your current location, but my location, it's raining. So it's a rainy day on the sunny side, right here on your number one station for talk, 92.3 Nigeria Info FM. My name is Dennis Wall, one and only of Nigeria Info FM. And as always, it is my pleasure to share this space with you, talking for development, having ethical, philosophical, and thought-provoking discussions. What's on the menu today? Should I tell you? We're going to be talking about pregnant mothers today. Someone says, Denise, I believe you die. God has proved himself mightily for Ifechukwu right now from Woji. I told ya. Someone says, Denise, let Ifechukwu be already. I should let him be? No way! I'm concerned. I mean, he's my colleague. I'm concerned for his mental health. I'm concerned for his mind, his body, his soul. I need him to be alright. I mean, one girl should not just be doing him anyhow, play him like football anyhow. And, one of these days, he'll come and be reading the news, and before you know it, he'll mention her name. So, I'm glad that it ended in a Thanksgiving way. Alright? That's it. So, we're going to be talking intervention for pregnant women as it concerns Orthodox medicine or Orthodox services or Orthodox care, health care for this pregnant, expectant mothers. All right. Herbal remedies used to be the saving grace to many Africans, including Nigerians during illnesses, but with a high cost of drugs, high cost of medical services. You want to do scan, it's expensive. You want to buy this one, it's expensive. You want to treat this one, it's expensive. These pregnant women actually looking after not just one person, but themselves and the growing babies. So I think it's high time we begin to talk about how they are navigating this period, all right, of high cost of things. Someone says, Denise, leave Ifechukwu be so that you will get an invite to the wedding. No. Have you ever heard of wedding crashers? People that they don't invite. You are going to be marrying in this office. You will not invite me. I'm gonna crash that wedding. In fact, nobody in this office needs an invitation when somebody here is celebrating something. It's not, you don't come and invite us. We will show up, whether you like it or not. You heard me? So, yeah, that's it. We go on a commercial break shortly. When we come back, the conversation starts in full. That takes us up until 1 o'clock. At 1 o'clock, we'll go on the news break for trending stories. We'll be back for a chit-chat centered around traveling, and that will take us up until 2. And in the final hour, let's talk social media. Why have a social media account? I mean, with all that is happening in the social media space lately, trolling, savagery, disrespect, misinformation, lies, bitterness, and hateful comments, one begins to wonder, should I remain on social media or open a social media account if I don't have any? Why do you have a social media account? And what has your experience been like using social media?
Anywhere Clara enter like this, people must give am compliment.
I think they are more keen on the disadvantages. Things like overdosage. Things like the components of this medicine not being well studied to know how to put them together to get a particular result. Things like people even taking them without proper diagnosis. But what would you have people do? The cost of drugs had soared, and antenatal fees cost an arm and a leg. Now, they sampled some opinions of some people who had to resort to herbal drugs during pregnancy. Mrs. Annie Ratterson, a food vendor, said she had a baby in a herbal home a few months back. I had my baby in a herbal home 3 months ago. The process was very easy for me. I took all the herbs prescribed, did massages, and ate well. I paid 10,000 naira for antenatal services throughout my 9-month period and 20,000 naira for delivery. That's 30,000 naira in total. I choose my husband, who is into furniture, can barely afford our daily bread. I chose my husband. He was working at a reception store where his employer closed their branch to his running costs. When I visited the hospital, I told that I will pay 1,500 for weekly antenatal services, a total of 6,000 monthly. For inquiry, revealed that the sum of 100,000 to 150,000 is charged for urgent delivery, 4,500,000 for CS if it else sprung up. I borrowed my ears and visited our home. For Mrs. Mercy for Lawrence, it was a bad experience being a first-timer. If I had the money to access a hospital service, I would have gone for it. The stress in the government hospital discouraged me from going there, though there's a little difference in cost compared to private hospitals. My husband is a herbal practitioner, which made me apply for the service for pregnancy. It was very cheap compared to government and private hospitals. A friend of mine who couldn't afford hospital bill when she gave birth slept under the stairs for 2 months before her family members assisted her husband with bills. I didn't want to face such a dilemma. But it was a very bad experience, but I thank God for very much. And I could not. But not a pet. I was dumbfounded. But I gave birth through cesarean section. We paid 500 naira, which was just the CS. 80,000 nations and drugs administered, paying money which he had borrowed to bill. Now, women, especially the one pregnant, will be keen to go to the herbal homes, deliver their babies, mother, and a cheaper alternative to health care. The hospital delivered 2 months after the statement to intervene. And then, in question, can prepare well for of a child from the moment your wife comes and says, hey, they treat you. We're pregnant. I did not know you. Pregnant, a baby. You're pregnant. You are pregnant. Excuse me. No, I'm not pregnant. I'm that. And the segment comes. And then is your waiting period. And one is expected to have raised something. A question mark to a level of preparedness. I know struggle to prepare plan at real level. Yesterday, I went to the supermarket to get a baby diaper. The diaper had gotten for 7,400 naira. Early this 18,400 naira. I can only imagine how much time we have to use months and year till this. But you see, this antenatal care is very, very. And in this conversation, certain people that are pregnant, these people are pregnant, some family members of these people that are pregnant, beyond saying, congratulations, yay! Is that period that you're blessed of and all they have to go through to birth that child or those children. Hence, I am asking this question. One question only, simply should government intervention or subsidized health care for pregnant women. Think about it. Should we question government intervention or subsidized health care for pregnant women? Let's talk. 0817 90 0002 and 923 0817 health care for expectant mothers. And it extends to after delivery, where the baby's born can actually go and get vaccinated, and all of that is covered by those companies. I know some organizations have what we call HMO, Health Management Organization, that can actually tend to the pregnant women that work in that organization. I don't know how much the NHIS is doing, that's National Health Insurance Scheme. I also heard from our news bulletin, that there's something similar being made available here in River State. But they see, all of that is on healthcare generally. But what about pregnant women? Chidebere from Eche, welcome to the sunny side, Chidebere. Let's talk.
Good afternoon, Dennis.
Good afternoon.
Fine. I wanted to say concerning the topic at hand. If let me say, some pregnant women are going back to traditional medicine, I think it's a high time that government should assist these traditional practicing women to make it like the woman that read her story that after giving birth successfully, few days, the baby died.
Yeah.
So if made government that there are other things after the death of the baby, the traditional woman have already undergone how to take 6 or 7 for her to understand what to do after the death, or if there is a complication to this. The government now come down this table, they know how to make things work through that way.
For the traditional birth attendants, Gladman Wogu says government is going to look at
the government has services or
some of the vaccines being labeled scarce, and parents who want their children vaccinated able to get their child vaccinated. If adding in one is not making it even. Yes, that's another deal with. And being the what's it called, government being so with a lot. That's like on its own. If a pregnant can have basic health care, if she's anything pregnant, able for the health service alone, very much. Very much.
A free it's at every movement. You have general hospital. A general hospital.
It's not just a hospital. The one thing to have a general hospital, there's another thing to have a functional hospital.
A general hospital. Everyone has it. So
the services are accessible by everybody, every pregnant woman, no matter how rich or poor you are.
It's free in Delta State. Check it out.
Okay.
Because my cousin had to go from Lagos down to Delta for the wife to deliver.
Okay, if you're in Delta State and you're listening to this conversation, please help us confirm that delivery and antenatal services for pregnant women in Delta State is free. I'm not in Delta State. I'm trying to do a quick Google search to confirm. But thank you, Raymond, for bringing that to our knowledge. However, this thing you have said on radio, if it is indeed true, and we're going to be having a lot of people from this end going over to that state, don't you think it will now make it impossible for the people in Delta State who are meant to receive this care to have it adequate?
The thing is, what I'm saying is that can be done in reverse. It can be done in reverse.
Okay.
To reduce the pressure of because there's the reality on ground, like you said, you might be saving. The reality is to should I say the plan is to stay for it. But every single day realities come up and something like this is happening. At the end of the day you discover that your preparation has been cut short. Then you now go under that same pressure also.
Okay. I'm actually seeing something.
Because I will always advocate going to a registered medical center than for our traditional style. Though the traditional style is something, not all of them have that experience. If there's bleeding, there's the thing of what they call it, there's the resource factor. There's the resource that you have injection. Most of knowledge.
Technical knowledge, yeah.
You don't know. So that is the thing. Okay. So government can actually do something. That is the social welfare we're talking about.
All right, thank you. I just confirmed your story. I'm looking at something on the Vanguard newspaper that is stating free health services for pregnant women and children under 5 years in Delta State.
This is
interesting. Wow. Thank you so much for this vital information. I call it vital information because, trust me, if we're not having this conversation, I would not have known. Good afternoon. Healthcare needs to be subsidized for pregnant women as it has gone over and above the average man. In Delta State, healthcare is subsidized for pregnant women. Beauty from Igrita. Interesting. Osa says the antenatal delivery and postnatal till 5 years old is free in Delta State. This says our studio is lively now. Well done. The music was actually made for me, Sha. Aminu, I don't understand. Are we talking about the same thing? In my opinion, government should not assist. In my opinion, government should not assist in childbirth care. I say this because there are many men moving around with hungry male reproductive organs looking for what to eat. So when government comes into childbirth care, some people will start giving birth to so many children that may cause problems in the society. Register where you can afford. Elliot from Choba. Elliot, the reality of things now is that even the ones you thought you could afford, you cannot afford them anymore. So there is the herbal people, there is the hospitals as we know them to be. And I'm not saying that people don't have complications in the hospitals too. I mean, some months ago, a woman died during childbirth in a particular hospital here in River State. So yeah, it happens. The complications arise. But then in a hospital, you're giving some form of assurance that there are specialists there who at least have an idea of exactly what they're doing medically. And they can trace certain things. Now, if you're going to go to a herbal place, they're not going to do scans for you. You may have to go elsewhere and scan. They're going to massage your tummy. I know this because I've actually followed someone there. I mean, as far back as 2010, I used to have a friend, Chika. Chika was pregnant and she kept going to this particular lady. And the lady will touch her tummy, rub her tummy and say everything was fine, the baby is fine and everything is okay. Ladies and gentlemen, at some point I told Chika, seek a second opinion. And Chika took my advice, came all the way down to town because she was living at Igruta to do a scan. And the scan detected that everything was shattered in her womb. What that means was the fetus was pieces, like scattered. And she didn't know what to make of it. Alright? I mean, I can't go into the details of what exactly she started experiencing before going there. And she went back to this herbal local lady. And the lady massaged her tummy again and said, everything is fine. Your baby is okay and all of that. And guess what? It took months. Her baby was not growing anymore. And when it was seemingly almost too late, she had to do evacuation. And all of these things would have been spotted early enough. But this lady, she had experience. Truth be told, she indeed had experience. I mean, Chika was not the first person she was going to be taking care of. But with Chika's case, she was wrong. I've also seen someone who had passed on as a result of going to the hospital. I'll explain. So, what they thought was a fibroid was actually pregnancy. It was somewhat disguised. You know how they say sometimes the pregnancy used to hide and all that. And then he was going in for surgery to take off fibroid. Unknown to her and the hospital that she was actually pregnant. Now, if I go on and on with some of these stories, you would see that each of these people have had, people have had some bad experiences. But regardless, you see the hospitals, if you're not okay with one hospital, you can always go to another one. Thank God for technology. Thank God for the machines that can detect and spot things at the earliest level. But if herbals are cheap now, wait till the lady providing healthcare for you tells you that she has increased her price because the prices of things in the market are high now, and she cannot continue to charge that amount she used to charge 2-3 years ago and be able to take care of herself. She will eventually get to that point where she will start increasing how much she's charging to deliver the babies. So, there is a high cost of treatment, high cost of antenatal services, high cost of delivery services for pregnant women. And that is why I'm asking, should we start requesting government intervention or subsidized healthcare for pregnant women? Again, the numbers are 0817 923 0002 and 0817 923 0003. Again, 0817 923 0002 and 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp and Telegram number remains 0809 030 6416. Again, 0809 030 6416. I'm sure in Delta State, it's not everybody that is getting pregnant solely because healthcare is free for the pregnant women. I'm sure the people still will know not to just give birth. Beyond the safe delivery, beyond the mother being okay and the baby being okay, is life after the delivery of the baby. Who takes care of the child? Who brings up the child? That's another conversation entirely. But now that people are unable to afford what is termed as basic health care, what would you have them do? Again, 0817. Please don't call the WhatsApp number. I need you to only send your messages to the WhatsApp number. If you're unable to get through to us via the phone lines, feel free to call these other numbers: 0817 923 0009. Again, 0817 923 0009. If you're just joining us, it's still the sunny side right here on your number one station for Talk 92.3 Nigeria Info. And we're talking intervention for pregnant women amidst high cost of Orthodox services. Nigeria Info, good afternoon. I'm so sorry we lost that call. Please do well to call back or type a message. I'm sure you should be able to type a message. We're live on Facebook. I forgot to mention earlier. On Facebook, we are at Nigeria Info PH. That's Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. And on X at Nigeria Info PH. At Nigeria Info PH. Nigeria Info, good afternoon to you and welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, can you hear me? Nigeria Info, good afternoon to you and welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I don't want to say my name because I have an unpopular take on this.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, all right. So, the way I see it, providing medical care for deliveries and all that, will not be really very, very good because this will promote people having babies without really planning to take care of them. Nigeria as it is, we have over 200 million people, and I can tell you that a higher percentage of these people are not really properly taken care of already as it stands. So I would say that the people who are willing to have children to be prepared to take care of them. The government should focus more on other health matters and than on child. Again, a percentage of this should be on people for bringing. That's it. Thank you.
All right, then. Thank you. Thank you so much. Nigerian Info, good afternoon to you and welcome.
Hi, Yasmin.
Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear you?
All right, go ahead. No, dear. What's happening to the phone lines today? I'm so sorry for everyone who's been trying to get through to us and is unable to. Not fault of mine. I need to confirm it's still raining. I guess it's the rains. The rain just has a way of messing up the networks. But the bottom line is this. Prepare yourself. You see, the journey to parenthood, motherhood, and fatherhood shouldn't start from when you confirm you're pregnant. I think we want to start making babies. There are a lot. But you see, the health of the mother and the child is of utmost priority. They deserve the best care ever. The best care money can afford. But having to make a mother choose between the motherhood which is guaranteed. That's a situation anybody should themselves see. Probably I can remember on the 23rd August 2012 public health care along Eche Road, and then I saw that the baby was already coming out, so I had to drive to a nearby compound to ask if there's any nearby local delivery place. And they took me to one Yoruba woman that used to help deliver babies for people locally. And immediately we got there, the woman swings into action, and my wife delivered a bouncing baby girl, and she's almost 12 years now. So to me, nothing is wrong with the local remedies. But Orthodox medicine will always tell you that the locals are not good. I mean, nobody says it's wrong.
We are